start, inshallah. The law of conservation of mass states that matter is neither created or destroyed, simply in a chemical reactions, the masses are conserved. The reactants, the masses of the reactants must equal the total masses of products. And we take, I think that we're talking about this example. In this example, iron combines or react with sulfur to produce this compound. It is called iron sulfide. Notice that if we start the reaction with 14 grams of iron and 8 grams of sulfur, the product or the iron sulfide will be 14 plus 8, which is equal to 22 grams. The same thing in this exercise. Suppose that we have substance A and substance B. When they react, for example, the mass of substance A is 80.5 and the mass of substance B is 92.8. So the total mass of the product must be what? We said that it must be 173.3. Yes, 0.3 grams. This is according to the conservation of mass. طيب. Let's go to the next page and solve this exercise. Please listen to me and try to, we want to solve the question together. The first, let's read the question first. Because mass is conserved in a chemical reaction, chemical equations must be balanced. As I told you, chemical equations must be balanced. Now, match each description shown with the chemical equation it describes. The question is, look, none of the atoms in balance. Which of these chemical equations, A, B, C, or D, which this sentence is or matches which one of these? None of the atoms in balance. Is it A? Is it B? Is it C? Is it D? Who can answer? Yalla. Can you answer this, the first one? Which of these equations, none of the atoms are balanced? Without, please, no one answer without permission. Yalla.
Can I answer?
Who's talking? Nisreen, yalla.
يا الله يا ليث.
What?
مي بس.
نسرين ايش احكي؟
B.
B. طلع. We said that none of the atoms are balanced. None. محمد جمال.
نعم.
Can you answer?
أنا.
Yes.
What? Which one?
D.
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 Yes. Thank you very much. The first one is D. Look, I will explain for you why. طلع. In equation D, none of the atoms in balance. How many atoms of iron we have? 1 in the reactants. Here we have 2. So iron is not balanced. Oxygen, we have 2 atoms of oxygen. Here we have 3 atoms. So neither iron nor oxygen in balance. So it is D. Thank you. طيب. In which of the equations oxygen atoms not balanced? I mean, before you answer.
أنا.
يعني, in which of the equations iron are balanced and oxygen atoms are not balanced? ليث.
B.
B. طيب.
B أو C ما بعرف.
Can I answer?
يوزمان.
C.
C. That's right.
B أو C حكيت فيها.
لا ليث. Wait. Oxygen atoms not balanced. So he means that iron atoms are balanced, but oxygen atoms not balanced. Look, in C, the iron atoms are balanced, 2 and 2. But oxygen atoms, there is 2 here and 3. So in this equation, only oxygen atoms are not balanced. طيب, iron atoms not balanced. Before you answer, he means that oxygen atoms are balanced, but iron atoms not balanced. يلا.
Me, can I answer?
Me.
لا, I want
Can I?
others.
Can I?
Jamal, no, you answered one.
It's clear.
Thank you,
It's
Jamal.
clear.
Thank you, عثمان. طيب. Others.
Me.
عمرو بن الجموح.
In A,
Yes. In A, notice in A, the oxygen atoms here is 6, and here is 6. 2 multiplied by 3, 6. So they are balanced, but iron atoms are not balanced because we have 2 iron atoms here, and here we have 4. So in this equation, only the oxygen atoms balanced. The last one, all atoms are balanced. Of course, it is B.
B.
By the way, he won't, in this exercise, he wants to tell you how to balance the equation. In B, we have 4 atoms of iron. How many atoms of iron we have here? 4, because 2 multiplied by the subscript 2. So we have 4, and oxygen 6. And here it is 6 because 2 multiplied by 3. So only equation B is balanced. Understood? Okay? Amr,
Yes.
do you want to
Okay.
add anything, Amr?
in D, the iron is not balanced too.
In D, iron is not balanced and oxygen is not balanced because he said none of the atoms.
None of the atoms. حكى هو.
Amr, he said none of the atoms are balanced. So it is D. Because it is not balanced, because 1 here and 2 here and oxygen here 2 and we have 3 here. So none of the atoms are balanced in D. In C, only oxygen atoms are not balanced. Notice in C, the iron atoms are balanced, but oxygen atoms are not balanced because we have 2 here and 3 here.
3 here. Yes.
In A, iron atoms not balanced. Notice it is 2 here and 4 here. But in B, all of the atoms or all the atoms balanced. So B is a balanced equation. Clear?
Yes.
طيب.
Yes, clear.
Turn to the next page, or the same page, sorry. We have 2 types of systems. We have open systems and the closed systems. What is the meaning of open systems and what is the meaning of closed systems? Look here. Look at this figure. Which one of them do you expect is a closed system?
B.
B is a closed system while A is an open system. In an open system, the materials or matter can enter and escape. It's difficult to monitor it. If you want to study the law of conservation of mass, which is easier for you, in an open system or a closed system?
Open.
No. If you want
Closed.
because if you study a law of conservation of mass in an open system, you may think that matter is not conserved because some matters like gases can escape. But if you want to calculate and make calculation, you must use a closed system because no gas can escape. This is simply the idea of this page. So some reactions may appear to violate the principle of conservation of mass. What is the meaning of violate? Can you tell me what is the meaning of the sentence?
وين راح الأستاذ؟ relate يا أستاذ يعني to make the same.
In some reactions, they appear to if you look at these reactions, you think that the law of conservation of mass is wrong. I will give you example. This example, I think you are familiar with it. When you burn a log, okay? Suppose that the mass of the log is 10 kilograms, okay? After you burn it, it will turn to what? To ash. It
To
becomes what?
ashes.
Ash and smoke. But because you burn it outside in an open system, what will happen to the smoke?
Smoke will escape.
Escape. These gases will escape, and the ash is very light. Maybe all of the ash. If you collect all of the ash, it may have a mass of 1 kilogram. So the question is, what happens to the 9 kilograms? The rest of the 9 kilograms, they just escape. But the law of conservation of mass is still correct. If you add the mass of the ash with the mass of the smoke, it must give you 10 kilograms. But because you do this in an open system, you can't capture the gas. You can't capture the smoke. So this type of reaction seems to what? To violate the law of conservation of mass. Scientists or people in the past think that the mass is not conserved. But if you do this reaction in a closed system, it is easy to find the total mass. Recall that photosynthesis. Another example, photosynthesis. It is a chemical reaction or a chemical change that, as you know, plants use to make their food. This process happens in the leaves of the plants. As you know that the plants need carbon dioxide from the atmosphere or from the air and water from the soil. Plants combine carbon dioxide from the air and water from soil together with energy from the sun. Okay, these are the reactants, carbon dioxide and water. They are the reactants of the photosynthesis, and the products are sugar and oxygen. Of course, it needs energy from the sun. This process needs energy if provided by the sun. It is an endothermic. Reaction, because without energy, a photosynthesis will not happen. I want to draw or to model this equation. CO2, okay, plus CO2 from air and water from the soil, okay. Of course, this process needs energy, and the products are the sugar, which is glucose, C6H12, okay, O6, okay, and also oxygen. Are you with me? This is
Yes.
the chemical equation of what? Of photosynthesis. This process happens in the plants. This process, of course, as you know, happens, or this reaction happens in an open system outside. So you can't calculate the amount of carbon dioxide and also the amount of water. Also, this sugar, plants change its sugar into leaves, into stems, into roots. It stores this sugar is stored or converted by plants to other parts. So it is very difficult for you to calculate the masses, the total masses. But in general, the total masses of the reactants must equal to the total masses of the products according to the law of conservation of matter or the law of conservation of mass. Is it clear? So if you measure the mass of a plant as it grows, it will seem like a huge amount of mass is appearing out of nowhere. Okay? This is because most plants we see are in an open system. So what is the definition of open system? It is a system in which matter can enter and escape. For example, this room, my room, this is room. This classroom is an open system because matter can enter and escape. I can't, for example, the gas can go and escape from the window, even not only from the window, from the door. So it is open system. So in an open system, the matter can enter and escape. The flow and invisibility of carbon dioxide in the photosynthesis gas that the plants convert to food and structures, stems, trunks, leaves, and so on, make it very difficult to know just how much carbon dioxide is involved. It's very difficult to calculate because it's an open system. Whereas, on the other hand, in a closed system like this one, this is a closed system, it is easier to calculate or to measure because the matter cannot escape. A closed system is a better place in which to measure the movement of matter and to study reactions that involve gases. Especially if you want to study the reactions that involve gases, you must use a closed system. And as you know, most of chemical reactions involve gases. Right. A closed system is a better place. It is the best place in which to measure the movement of matter and study the reactions that involve gas. By the way, scientists always do their reactions in the laboratory because they can make closed systems. Type. The sealed system, sealed means closed, in figure 5b, this figure here, okay? And this is a sealed system or closed system, allows scientists to manipulate and analyze the contents of the system, including plants, without worrying that invisible gases may be moving into or out of the system. Right. Is it clear? Do you have any comments?
Yes.
Right.
No.
There are now, finally, we have three types of reactions. Reactions, yes, we say that, and according to energy, there are exothermic and endothermic, but the chemical reactions can be divided into three types. Synthesis. The second type is decomposition. Okay? And the third type of reaction is called replacement. Type. What is the difference between them? When you combine, simply, synthesis, what is the meaning of synthesis? Do you know, I don't mean in science, when you want to synthesize something, what is it? What does it mean, synthesis?
Put something together.
What?
To put something together.
Yes, and make something larger. The same thing, for example, when magnesium here combine with oxygen, when two or more atoms join together to make a larger compound, this is called synthesis reaction. Okay, in this example, على فكرة في ناس غايبين كثير اليوم. طيب. Okay. طيب.
ما فيش غير 10 بالميتينج.
Synthesis, to synthesize is to put things together. Okay? When two or more elements or even two compounds combine to make a more complex substance, it's called synthesis reaction. So this is the definition of a synthesis reaction. Okay? When two or more elements or even two or more compounds combine together to make a complex substance, it's called a synthesis reaction, also known as combination reaction. So synthesis or combination, it is the same meaning. By the way, this type of reactions happens in your body. For example, many substances or many atoms join to form huge compounds in your body like DNA, proteins, lipids. They are made up from smaller atoms or smaller elements. So when two or more elements or two or more compounds join together to make a larger substance or complex substance, it is called synthesis reaction or combination reaction. Is it understood?
Yes.
Right. For
Yes.
example, in this case, magnesium and oxygen join together to form magnesium oxide. This reaction or this chemical equation represent the synthesis or formation of magnesium oxide. Is this equation balanced or not?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
لا
No.
بلا في
It
2
is
بلا.
balanced
لا
because
أستاذ
this coefficient 2 means
Okay.
2 mg and 2o. يعني this number 2, it's not only for
Oh, it's
magnesium
2.
because
2 for all 2 for all يعني.
for all, because they are together. There is no plus between them. And this is 2, so we have 2 oxygens. Here we have 2 magnesium, we have 2 magnesium. So it is balanced. Right. The decomposition reaction, it's exactly the opposite. When a larger compound split or separated into 2 smaller or more, 2 or more smaller atoms or 2 or more smaller elements, it's called decomposition. So decomposition is the opposite of synthesis. The opposite of a synthesis, highlight it, is reaction is a decomposition reaction, in which this is the definition of decomposition reaction, in which compounds break down. تتكسر.
يعني هي عكس
عارفين شو يعني break down?
synthesis.
Break down into simpler
Yes.
products. Yes. When a complex or when a compound, for example, break down into simpler products, it's called decomposition reaction. يعني the same thing happens for when bacteria. Why are they called? Why we call bacteria decomposers? Because they decompose.
We break down dead material.
When organisms die, bacteria and other decomposers decompose their bodies into simpler elements like.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So in this case, it will
حد
help.
سامعني أنا؟
Yes. So decomposition is the opposite of synthesis. Synthesis, you make larger compound from smaller things, but in a decomposition, you break down a compound into simpler products. Example, this is not water. Do you know what is it called? This is not water. It is H2O2. It is hydrogen peroxide. This is called hydrogen peroxide. It is not H2O. It is H2O2. Okay? You may have a bottle of hydrogen peroxide in your house to clean cuts. This is used to clean cuts. If you keep this bottle for a long period of time, it will decompose. Hydrogen peroxide decomposes into water and oxygen. Notice that hydrogen peroxide decomposed or break down into simpler compounds, into simpler substances, into water and oxygen. Is this equation balanced or not?
Yes, it is balanced.
Yes, 4 hydrogens, 4 hydrogens. 4 oxygens. Here, notice that we have 4 oxygen atoms because it is the coefficient 2, and here 2 multiplied by 2, we have 4. So we have we have 2 oxygens here and 2 oxygens. So we have 4 oxygen atoms in both sides. We have also 4 hydrogen atoms in both sides. So it is balanced. So this is a decomposition reactions. The third type of reactions is called what?
Replacement.
Replacement.
هون أستاذ.
By its
Replace
name.
the elements.
Replace
the elements.
When an element replaces another. In this example, potassium replaces lead, and lead replaces potassium. Look, what is the result? This is potassium iodide.
PbL.
طلع potassium iodide. It's made up from potassium and iodine. Here it's called lead.
أستاذ هاي متى بتصير بالضبط؟
There are a lot of replacement reactions in nature. يعني reactions can be replacement, decomposition, or synthesis. It happens in a lot of examples. Fine. Look here. What happens to here? Notice that lead here replaces what? Potassium. And potassium replaces lead. Okay?
Okay.
So this is the replacement reaction. In a replacement reaction by its name, when one element, okay, replaces another element in a compound, it is called, or if two elements in different compounds trade places or exchange places, it is a replacement reaction. It doesn't matter, يعني, it's not always that they trade the places or exchange places. Sometimes just one element replaces another. When one element replaces another element in a compound, or if two elements in different compounds trade places or exchange places, it's a replacement reaction. In this example, potassium iodide here, it is potassium iodide and lead nitrate react. The potassium and the potassium, this one, the potassium, okay, and lead change their places. So we have here lead iodide, and here we have potassium nitrate. طيب. Also note that as طيب here this subscript, sorry مش هذا.
Yes.
Note that the subscript is applied to the nitrate. This subscript 2, it's not for lead. It's what for what? For nitrate, this group. It is a polyatomic ion. If you remember. طلع. Nitrate is called polyatomic group. It is made up of nitrogen and 3 oxygen atoms. It acts as
Made of many atoms.
as a whole.
Different amount of
So
atoms.
when you, for example, here, lead nitrate, okay, lead nitrate. This subscript, I don't mean 3, 2, it's not for lead, it's just for nitrate. So we have 2 molecules of nitrate. This is the meaning of the subscript. Clear? Fine. So note that a subscript is applied to the nitrate in the second reactant here. This subscript, okay, this one is applied only to nitrate. This means that there are 2 nitrates with a single lead. For each lead, we have 2 nitrates. But in the product side, on the product side of the equation, the coefficient is used because it applies to both potassium. We use this coefficient. So we have 2 potassiums and 2 nitrates. This is for both of them. This coefficient is for potassium and for nitrate. So we have.
صراحة بتلخبط شوي.
No. ما بتلخبط. طيب. So the coefficient is used because it applies to both the potassium and the nitrate. This is everything in this unit. We finished this unit, alhamdulillah. Inshallah. What do you have? Do you have an exam tomorrow?
Yes, we have geography.
طيب, okay.
Geography.
Now I want to ask, let's do this exercise. Rust, of course, you know what is rust. Rust forms on this car as a result of a reaction between what? Iron and oxygen, as you know. What kind of chemical reaction do you think? No one answer without permission. What kind of a chemical reaction do you think this thing?
Can I answer?
استنى شوي. Is it replacement? Is it decomposition? Is it synthesis?
Me, please.
Me.
Me, please.
لا بدي اشوف.
Me.
أنا
لا نسرين ولا ليث. ثانك يو يعني نسرين ليث. ثانك يو both of you. طيب
مبينة يعني أستاذ.
بدي اشوف
ليش من؟
زيد.
لا
what do you
طبعا
think؟
يا زيد.
ما بعرف والله.
احمد ابو خضير. he's sleeping. طيب
Teacher, can I?
عمرو بن جموح.
إيه.
Synthesis.
ليث
Yes.
what do you think؟
Synthesis.
نسرين.
synthesis.
Yes, thank you.
Synthesis.
It's notice that it is a synthesis reaction. Why? Because two.
أستاذ عشان ما في بلس بالهاي.
لا no مش هيك شرط. Notice that they combine to form a larger compound. So
They
it
didn't even change. Yes.
is a synthesis reaction because two different reactants join together or combine to make a single compound. طيب. Is it clear?
Yes.
It is.
طيب خلينا نشوف the next exercise in the
أستاذ
let's
نكتب synthesis because
استنى
what?
شوي wait. Aluminum. Okay, this is aluminum and silver tarnish. This is called silver tarnish. It's made from silver and sulfur. It's called silver tarnish. Yields pure silver. When they react, they produce pure silver and aluminum sulfide. So we have two reactants, tarnish or silver sulfide. They combine with aluminum. The result is pure silver and aluminum sulfide. This is solution. What are the reactants and the products in this reaction?
Me.
طيب ليث, what are the reactants? بس قول لي reactants.
أستاذ بس ثانية بلد أسوي شغلة.
احكي.
هذا
silver
reactants.
أيوة. Thank you.
Reactants.
This is
اللي
one.
جنبهم products.
And these are
products.
thank you. طيب. Good. These are reactants. طيب. The second question. Is the reaction, please no one answer, is this reaction, this is the reaction above a replacement reaction?
Me.
Look at it carefully. Nisreen.
Me.
Yes.
Yes, it is a replacement reaction. How can you know?
Because two
the S
atoms.
with
اسكت أنا
AI.
بجاوب.
بسم الله الرحمن
ليث
الرحيم.
اعطيها شوي chance. Which replaces?
Two elements traded places.
Okay, no, they do not change places. In this case, actually, just aluminum, notice, aluminum replaces silver. So, look what happens then. Aluminum replaces silver. Thank you, Sirsine. I told you it's not necessary that two atoms must exchange places. Sometimes in a replacement reaction, maybe one element replaces the another. طيب. That's enough for today. طيب. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you inshallah.
Goodbye.